is so good though. It's been a really tough year for me actually. Absolute nightmare with so much big, massive cave space I was inside. It's so unique and it's so special and it's so magical and it's so like incredible watching what humans can do. Hi, so I actually have just started this very impromptu vlog. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is September 2nd and it's actually the afternoon and I don't even know if I still have a channel after this. I do, however, have some, if you can see this, I have some watermelon because for the first time today I actually left my house because since like last week or pretty much since Saturday I have had food poisoning, so I have not been able to eat properly since Saturday. Today's Tuesday. This is so good though. And every time that I have eaten, like I can't drink any more coffee, and any time that I have been able to put some food down in the last few days, I just get a really big headache and I get sick. I actually had some chocolate before, so I'm definitely on a little bit of a dark chocolate high. But this is so flavorful. Watermelon is so good and it feels cold. Okay, so it's been actually quite a bit of time since I've been able to sit down and talk to the camera and create a talking head video, or whether it be a vlog. And I'm not even sure if this video will actually make it online live. I don't know what's been happening with my channel because this year has definitely not gone in as flow as I had intentionally structured and manifested my year to be. It's been a really tough year for me actually. Fortunately, let's start with the fortunate things that have happened that I'm very grateful for. I have been living here now in my new villa since July 30, and I'm very, very grateful to be here. It's a beautiful villa and I still have not completely unpacked my home office, which is still just a mess, and there's still some things to organize in my bedroom. I would still like to get, if you can see over here, I would like to get a new table. This is only a table for 4, but I believe that I should have like a bigger table for like 6, and I would like to get a stone table. But the house is beautiful. There have been many, many problems which I have actually spoken about before, and maybe also if you're watching, you've also maybe built in the past or renovated and dealt with renovations or dealt with villa developers. It has been really challenging and I would not do this again. Like I said, fortunately at the end of the day I do have a very beautiful luxury villa, and actually my villa does look like this because I did invest in an off plan. However, I customed and changed around a few different things and added maybe some different tiles, and you know, I added like the island and the kitchen and the bathrooms. They're not marble, it's actually like a stone that looks like marble. So there are some other things that I requested that I actually, you know, paid extra for on top of what the amount was. But dealing with the villa developer has been an absolute fucking nightmare. And then also I had the other villa that I was renting, I had a villa manager, and she's also a local Indonesian, and that has also been quite a whole thing dealing with her and how she runs things for managing luxury properties. Yeah, I've experienced a lot. And again, the things that I want to start off with by being really grateful, because I am still involved and aligned with my online business, I have not been able to put the same amount of energy and focus and time towards that because I've been having to deal with so much bullshit from building this villa and dealing with my villa manager. It's been a nightmare. Fortunately, yes, I still have that lease. I have a friend staying at the house that I was renting before. Like I said again, I'm very grateful for the space that I'm in. It's a beautiful home. It's perfect just for one person or 2 people. Obviously, like somebody who maybe works from home, because I do have the home office. There is construction all around me, like everywhere. And people are moving very slowly actually. And there's more, I mean, Bali is saturated obviously. So that's what I want to start off with. That definitely I'm very happy in this beautiful home that I have been able to invest and build, and it is completed. There are still a few loose ends of things that need to get done, and I think I maybe have spoken about before in another video that I did hire a lawyer to represent me for certain things with development. And then I'll just eat some more watermelon. This is so good. I also, just to be TMI, I had my first bowel movement today since probably Friday. I'll go into that, but I have had food poisoning. I'm not sure if I said that. Anyway, I'm dealing with food poisoning. Like so bad. I thought it was Bali belly, but then somebody told me today if I'm not having the runs, like number 2, but you're actually like, yeah, I was like violent projectile vomiting on Saturday evening. It was horrible. I have not been that sick in like years, where like pretty much every year and sometimes multiple times a year living here in Bali, I get like a little bit of Bali belly. You know, you can tell like something feels a bit off and maybe you have like a little bit of the runs. I take the activated charcoal and then like I'm fine. This was like a whole thing. Like last week I was feeling a little bit like I was getting a little bit sick, and there were some people that were also getting sick. My cleaning lady showed up last week and she wasn't very well, and I also felt like a little bit of a throat thing coming on, but I thought, oh, no, it's fine. And then I actually did go out Thursday night and had like a few drinks, but like 2 wines and 2 cocktails spread out over hours. And I woke up already on Friday, like a little bit of a headache, but I was okay. And then my stomach was like a little bit strange. And then Saturday morning, I went out again on Friday night, like not a late night or anything, but definitely had like a few different cocktails. Definitely was not hydrated within those few days. Woke up Saturday morning and just had the worst headache. Felt like shit. I will go into also why I went out those 2 nights. And then by the afternoon, I came back because I was in Canggu, I came back to the Bukit, and then I had a massage. I went to go eat a burger and fries, which probably wasn't the best thing to do, but I had eaten at this place earlier on in the year, and then that was fine. Bought like at the health food store near where I ate my burger. I went in and I bought a bunch of things from the health food store. It's called Green Habit. It's in Ungasan. I ate this like protein snack bar and then this like energy ball. Sat down and was like, okay, I'm gonna relax for the rest of Saturday. The waves had been small, so I wasn't surfing. And then by like 7 or 8 p.m., I already was feeling like so full, like I'd eaten like 10 burgers, which clearly I hadn't. And then I like had gone a few times to the toilet and was like over the toilet bowl, but nothing came up. Then at like 7 or 8 p.m., maybe 7 something, oh my God, I went to the toilet and I was like projectile violently vomiting like everything up. It was horrible. It was horrendous. It was so bad. I felt like my soul was like coming out of me. Like it was awful. And then I came back out and I continued watching Netflix, just like absolutely like incapacitated, like dying on the couch. And then like maybe an hour later, I went back to the bathroom, and again, like there was nothing left in me, but whatever there was, it came up. Like I felt awful. I felt awful, terrible, just like it was disgusting, like, and like my body was like convulsing as I was vomiting. It was so unpleasant. It was so awful. And then I woke up Sunday, then Monday, like didn't do anything. I was able actually like to order some food, so I was able to eat like a little bit of food. I had some vegan pancakes, I was drinking some water, drinking my coconut water. I took activated charcoal just every time then I ate, like my stomach, like the cramps, so bad. And then like also my back was aching and I was just like not feeling good. And the headache, just like deep, hard, long ache in my head. Not fun. So that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then today last night I actually kind of like felt like, okay, I feel better. I'm gonna just wake up, start my life again, go to Pilates, surf again tomorrow, get back to work and everything. Yeah, woke up this morning and my stomach was so tight and crampy, and I was like, I'm like not going anywhere. But then this afternoon, like I actually got on my bike and I drove. I went to Drifter and I went and got some food. I had a coffee, could not finish more than 2 or 3 sips of coffee. I had like a piece of gluten-free bread and their vegan smash, as they call it. I did get one nail fixed, and that was just like frustrating having to get that done. And then I've come home and I just absolutely, like, it was like 12:30. I felt like it was already 10:30 at night, and I went straight to bed. I watched some YouTube, I kind of had like a little nap, and now, like I said, it's like 4 p.m. And I think what got me also, I had an argument on the phone with my mother. There are always other things going on behind that you may not obviously see if you follow me on social media, or obviously here if you follow me here. I don't even know if you'll ever get to see this video. But I started like, you know, watching like people's vlogs, and you know, when we compare ourselves to others around us, and we always see it's like the grass is greener on the other side, and we always think, oh, I want what they have. And it made me realize also with the situation that I just went through with a man, I will expand on that later, and then I've had a bunch of things going on with business. I was like, right, I need to like get my shit together again. I feel like this year's been a constant roller coaster of just high, low, like good month, bad month, good month, bad month. Like it's been the most strange month for me. Like I've had some of the best highs, because in August 4, 5, and 6, we had some big swells, the biggest swells of the year so far, and there's nothing else that's on the forecast. And I had some amazing waves on those days. Like it was the biggest swells, definitely the 5th and the 6th. And I was out there. Obviously I surfed BOMBIE. The first day actually I surfed more like outer peak and lower BOMBIE, but the second and third day obviously I surfed BOMBIE. On the second day, August 5th, I got my first barrel. It didn't come out of the barrel, but I pulled deep inside like an 8 to 10 foot barrel. Like big, massive cave space I was inside. It was the most extraordinary, amazing, magical, spiritual, unforgettable, magnificent. Like I don't even know the correct words to put into words and express and share and comprehend like what that experience was like. Like I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. So when we talk about like some of the things that I'm grateful for like this year, like pulling into that barrel was like, that's like a goal, a lifelong goal of mine. It is a lifelong goal of mine to be inside a BOMBIE barrel. Yes, of course, one day now, I would like to come out of the barrel. I've never actually come out of any barrel. I've gotten a few, oh, my nose is so itchy. I've gotten a few barrels. I've gone inside at Balangan. That was in 2022. I went inside a very small. I went inside a 3-foot barrel in May of 2023. And then this year, I attempted to pull into a barrel in the beginning of June, and I got like slammed by the hip and injured my hip, and I was a little bit injured for a while. But it's been my goal to one day get inside a BOMBIE barrel, and I did it. I surfed on the 5th. I got only 3 waves that day. The first wave was like, you know, like nice wave. Actually, it was good because I was on my 8-8 and I maneuvered my board really nicely. I almost got like actually a little bit of a cover on that first wave. And then I got like a second wave. It did close down behind me. And then like I didn't get anything for like so long, like more than an hour and a half. It took me more than an hour to get my first wave. And then I got 2 waves. And then I didn't get anything for like more than like an hour and a half. And it was amazing. People were getting the most amazing waves. I was so excited and celebrating everybody around me that were just getting amazing waves, because, and I remember saying this on the day, that it's so incredible that you see people's amazing athletic skills and obviously surfing skills when you watch it on like YouTube or Instagram. But when you're in the water witnessing people taking off on giant, beautiful waves and surfing them so well, and then obviously just seeing the size of the waves and the beautiful waves, like it's really something, it's so unique and it's so special and it's so magical and it's so like incredible watching what humans can do. So in saying that, it had been like more, I think I'll bring Bikini into the, say hello. So it had been like more than, now Wax, my cat, Wax! So I was like, okay, I'm getting like really tired. I was like sitting there in the lineup like, okay, like the tide is dropping. It was probably like maybe like less than 2 hours before low tide, and I was like, okay, time to go now. And I was just trying to choose like any wave to go in. And this wave came, and I was like, okay, maybe there are a few before that, probably. I didn't take the first one. And then I took off, made the takeoff, like cool, no problem. And then I was at the bottom, and then I went to, because I saw the wall, once I was at the bottom, and I think also I was a little bit like, whoa, unsteady. So I put my hand down, the left hand, and then I saw that there was a wall. So I went to pump to like bring my body up so I could lift up onto the wall. Because usually that's what I do, and usually I go up and then I make a turn and go down. But instead, this time I had like pumped to go up, and then all of a sudden I felt like wherever my board was on the wave started to lift me up, and I thought, oh my God, I am about to get sucked up and over. So I went to almost do my bracing over my head and my face, thinking I was gonna get sucked and over. But at the same time as like doing this, I felt like this wall and this like shadow coming up over me. And then the next thing you know, and I kept looking forward, obviously, the water on my left side just went boom up and went and threw down over me. Like, what the fuck? It was this perfect like throw up and over, and I was like, I think I must have, see, this is where my technique in surfing barrels is like, I definitely need to improve on this. I think I shot my left arm out, like almost like a Superman, but then I was like fully there inside the barrel, and I was thinking, is this what I think it is? And I was thinking, I think this is what I think it is. Like, I cannot fucking believe that this is what it is. I was like, this is like I'm in the barrel. It was extraordinary. And I remember looking straight ahead and seeing just like, like the cave, like the tunnel, like the hole, the barrel, and it was beautiful, perfect blue sky in front of me because it was a beautiful day. And then on this left-hand side, it was this like turquoise aqua water wall, and then like the water that was going over this way was this like white wash like over, and it was like, I can't tell you like how long, but I was like there, and it was amazing. Like, it was like only a surfer who's been inside a barrel can know what I'm saying. But it was just the most extraordinary moment. Like, it's a moment again that BOMBIE has absolutely changed my life. That wave, BOMBIE, has absolutely changed my life. That wave has changed my life. Since I started surfing that wave in 2023, when I got my first wave there, it's changed not only like learning to surf the wave and being there and paddling out there on big days to surf BOMBIE and read the wave and take off from the wave and do all the things that I try to do there, but it's also allowed me, it's had to, in a sense, not forced me, but it's allowed me to expand and evolve and elevate me as a person and what I've had to learn as a person. So for me in like my everyday life, even though I'm out there, the things that I learned to, have that continue and unfold into my daily life. Anyway, going back to the barrel, I did then stay inside, and then afterwards like got completely like smashed, and then like I was in like big like violent like washing machine hold down. Like, I was down for a long time, but I was so like high, thinking like, oh my God, I think I got the barrel. I also like touched the bottom. I didn't hit the bottom, but I touched the bottom. BOMBIE! Now BOMBIE's going crazy. I eventually surfaced, and I was like, started screaming to myself, thinking, oh my God, like I think I just got the barrel. And I was like screaming with excitement. And then my friend João is a Brazilian surfer. He's such a kind man, also a vegan, and he is definitely a huge role model and mentor and huge like supporter for me being out there at BOMBIE. And he is a fucking amazing surfer. On a shortboard, he does these full-on radical like 180 turns, big sprays. He surfed in Nazaré, he surfed in Tahiti. He's like, yeah, it's like really good. Last year, oh my God, he got the biggest BOMBIE barrel last year. Biggest wave, went inside the barrel and then came out of the barrel. Like his wave, dream wave that I want to get one day coming out. he saw it and he goes, come over here. So I went over and paddled over to him. He's like, oh my God, Tiffany. He's like, I cannot believe that was you. He's like, I was paddling over and he goes, the view that I saw of you, he goes, I didn't know who it was, but he goes, you were inside the biggest barrel. He was like, whoever that was, the cats are scratching, was inside the biggest barrel. He was like, I had the sickest view. And then he said, when you came up screaming, he's like, oh my God, that was Tiffany. He said he couldn't believe that such a tiny little woman was inside that barrel. It meant so much to me that he saw that, and this just his encouragement, like that was huge for me. Like it was huge for me. And like just to have people like witness that and to be happy for me, like that's huge. And I believe that maybe that's also why maybe that wave was coming to me, because it was maybe like they could see that I was already in my abundance and I wasn't expecting anything, and I was celebrating others, and I was just happy to be there in the water. And then BOMBIE just gifted me like the gods of Bali and the ULUWATU gods of Bali, and they call it Niruru Kidul, like the goddess of the South Sea, just gifted me with that wave. And it's just absolutely changed me forever. It makes me believe that like anything is possible. Like if you keep showing up and you stay passionate about what you love, and you're not doing it for any other like agenda except that you're so like just love to do what you want to do. And for me, I love to surf BOMBIE. It's one of my biggest challenges in my life, to be able to get in and out of the water on those big days and to be able to like just at least catch a wave and make the takeoff. It's huge for me. It's like huge for me. So I'm so grateful for that moment. The next morning I did surf again. It was bigger the next day and more wild, and I'm at one stage the only surfer in the water at BOMBIE. Everybody went like later on the lower tide for outside corner, but I was pretty much at first the only one at BOMBIE, and then this like really professional guy came out. There was also a jet ski, Andre, who's Russian, and another guy, I forgot his name, but they were like towing in. And I got 3 waves that day. I got one wave, my first wave, that was like only a medium-sized wave of that day. It was definitely 10 to 15 foot. I think it was 17 seconds. And then I had like a big motherfucking big wipeout. And then I had like just a small one at the end, and then I came in. I won't tell the story about I ended up like the second wave I got, I was sitting like really deep and thought, oh, I'm just gonna try like taking off. I put my head down for like these giant sets were coming through. It was definitely like Hawaii size, those waves that morning. And I didn't quite make the takeoff. Oh my God. And then I had like a really violent wipeout, hold down. It was like a whole thing. And then there were like 3 more sets on my head after that. It was like a whole thing. Luckily, Dolphin came with the jet ski and he picked me up, and yeah, he took me back. And I said to him, oh my God, I didn't make that dolphin. He's like, I know, I saw. He's like, I know you were sitting very deep. It's so funny. But he's like, if I'm there, I will always be able to help you. He's also been very encouraging to me. I think when he first saw me surfing May 28 last year, and I took off on some really big waves when it was like 10 to 15 foot, I then did a tow-in session with him in June. And yeah, I haven't towed with him this year yet. Again, that we've had no other big swells, but that so far, those swells, that I was so grateful for the waves. Even on the first day, I was so grateful for the waves that I got. Okay, so that's definitely put me in like a good mood speaking about like my waves. And yeah, I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful also because I did hire an agency to help me with my ads. So at the same time last month, I have obviously not only invested for the surfer service every month, but I'm paying now like quite a substantial amount of money for running ads. And so it's definitely like grown my reach. I can see on Instagram that I've got more people following me and I have a lot of leads coming in, but I'm not having, so far I haven't converted any sales there yet. So that's been challenging because since I stepped back into my business, I actually have not had any sales. That's something that is starting to bother me, and that's why I really wanted to like sit down like today and like think, right, I've got to like really focus back in on my business. And the thing that I don't want to blame, but it's definitely been a huge contributing factor, that with all the absolute nonsense bullshit that I've had to deal with the villa and building this villa, it has taken away so much of my mental capacity in having the energy to show up for my business, as well as like I think I've spoken about this before, that I really want to get okay, we're gonna see how this actually affects the lighting. I just changed my ISO. It's at 1600. I'm 1/160. f2.8. Obviously, I've got my 16 to 35 millimeter lens, and I just put the ISO to 1600. So let's see how that works out. Yeah, when it comes to business, you know, it's interesting. I just had a situation, and I'm not going to do the full story now. Maybe I'll explain it a bit later. But this afternoon, I got really frustrated with myself because I realized that I haven't been showing up to do all the things that I need to do for my business. I'm very grateful that now I actually have some really high converting, at least for lead generation, and bringing my numbers up for lead generation. I've got a lot of people, new leads, and a lot of people signing up for the free course that I have. And maybe you're watching and maybe you are in a space where you're looking for a new way to work. And I was trying to explain, because I was setting up like a bunch of emails that I'm going to send out this week, which means I have to get onto that later, that I'm very, very grateful for the skills that I've learned when it comes to business so far in the years that I've been involved with building my online business within Edgey. I did step away for about a year, and now I've been back in the business for about a year. But for some reason, it seems to be, whether it's, if I can identify that it's like me not showing up and doing what I need to do, as well as maybe I'm just not connecting with you as my audience. I mean, obviously, like if you've watched my videos here, I don't just speak about business, I share like everything. Obviously, I just was sharing about, you know, getting 10-foot bombing barrels before, and now we're switching over to online business. It seems to be that I'm not sure why it's taken me so long and I haven't reached yet the success that I desire to for business. And I watch all these very successful people, and I don't know if it's whatever like image I'm giving across, or if it's, you know, for me, because like my job, not that I feel like I have a job, but it is in my line of service, and my dharma right now with this business is to be able to impact others, not only for my own self-serving goals that I wish to create wealth and happiness and success and impact for my life, but I really do have this desire to actually be able to help other people have an amazing life. And that's always been my dharma. Before, when I was an entertainer, then when I became a yoga instructor, it's always been my intention to be able to make a difference in people's lives. And I'm so grateful that actually one of the things that I'm grateful for with this business is that I have been able to, last month, still be able to surf the biggest waves of the year, be able to show up and surf, and every day go to my Pilates classes. That's actually something that I'm so grateful for, that I'm excited that if my health stays good right now, that I'm gonna be able to get back to Pilates tomorrow morning. Pilates has not only, I feel like though in the last week, because I haven't surfed and I haven't done Pilates, and then obviously like I have not eaten properly and my health has been like terrible in the last 4 days. I just feel like I've like lost all my muscle. It's funny because in the season, like I'm grateful for my very muscly, strong body, because I need that for surfing and surfing big waves. But sometimes I do think that I maybe had a little bit of a softer body, or maybe even I would talk about like getting breast implants so I can feel a little bit more womanly. I don't think that I can get breast implants at this stage because I surf, and I don't know how that would affect like laying on a board. And at my age, like some women really still get breast implants at my age and they're still doing like extreme sports. Like I don't even know, I'd have to look into that. Pilates has just been like not only allowed me to be so strong for while I'm in the season, but I've just enjoyed like being able to like wake up, I straight away go to Pilates. I have to usually drag myself out of bed, but I go to class, and then afterwards I feel really good. I feel really like awakened in my mind and like activated within my body, and then I have my coffee. They have really good coffee next door at Analog. Yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that, because I start my day always like feeling really good for that. However, I just don't know why, but it's this year I started off the year really well with my business, and then I've just not been able to give it and commit to it the way that I was. And again, I'm not going to blame, but it's been an absolute, and I will say that again, an absolute shitstorm. Building this villa, dealing with the villa developer, trying to run an Airbnb rental that was just a fucking nightmare. And I actually didn't want to move into this villa until next year. But when I came to check it out, and I already saw that from the guests that were in here, and they were already, like getting stains, on the couch, and I thought I would rather live in this and rent out my other villa, which was what the plan was. But in doing that, we then had this big drama that obviously in being in, if you've been following any social media or if you know what's going on in Bali, the government completely went into Villa Oceanside, and they've just completely destroyed so many villas and businesses and warungs. It was a whole thing. There's rumors that they're gonna do it in Balangan and Malasti and maybe Uluwatu. Yeah, Bali's the development here is insane. But I feel also I wanted to share that I've been more tired. Obviously, I have always more energy when I'm not surfing, but something about now, being in my mid 40s, I'm 45 years old. I think also, I feel like maybe my hormones have changed, and also by the end of the day, after I do Pilates, after I surf, and then I get some work done in, by the afternoons, I'm tired. I am tired, and I have so many friends here, and I think it's fine. It's something that I think about, that there are a lot of people that I don't know what they do about money here. I have my own money, even though I'm not creating a stable, consistent income with the business vehicle that I'm involved with. I have got my own money, obviously, to live with, which I'm very, very grateful of. But I'm still working on obviously building my business. I've got my YouTube channel. I had my side hustle, having the Airbnb villa rental business. I'm still doing things. I feel here in Bali, there are so many people, including some of my friends, they don't have jobs, right? I'm not judging anybody, but there are people that I don't know what they're doing for money, or even if they don't, even if you were, and I always like to use this example, even if I was a billionaire, I would still want to be learning something, contributing some way to society, to others, to a cause, right? Always listening to podcasts or YouTube videos or reading books, wanting to continue to evolve and expand my mindset, my skills, just as a human. But there are people here that they're not, and it's left me now thinking that if I continue to stay here, because I always talk, they talk about, I know I'm rambling right now, but they say you become the sum, right, of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And if I think about who I'm surrounding myself with, it's I don't all my physical friends here in Bali, they aren't running businesses, and they don't have, and I'm not judging them. I love my friends that I have here, but I would love to be more in closer proximity in a community or around other people that are really, really successful, because being in that energy, and I know that by being in the energy and always putting myself in the energy in the vicinity of surfing BOMBIE, and always obviously surfing ULUWATU, it really has allowed me in the short time that I've been surfing to excel at a faster rate and achieve some really extraordinary things in surfing. Like what I did today, what I did last month on the 5th of August, pulling into a BOMBIE barrel, that's rare. People don't always do that, and that doesn't always happen. First of all, not many people surf BOMBIE, and second of all, not everybody every day is pulling into barrels there. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But it's also, I realize it's not crazy, because when you're passionate about something and when you put yourself in that environment and you're just consistent and you show up and you don't expect, amazing things can happen. And I realize that also now when it comes to being here in Bali, and I really try to be open-minded about some of the resistance that I've had about Bali and being here. I've tried to be in the last few months and this year open, oh, I can meet a guy here, and mostly it comes to relationships with men. Yeah, and I'm not expecting it, but I have tried to be open to meeting a guy, but also just in the business sense that for business and for relationships, I feel that I'm not in the right environment. I'm not in the right rooms. So that's also why I heavily rely on being, in digital spaces, digital communities, so I can learn off others. Okay, I know that this is like a lot, but these are like things that I've just like wanted to get out, to express, and whether or not like you actually get to listen to this, like me just like sharing about like whatever my problems are, because like I realized that I was going through a phase where like I was like I should have been more grateful for everything I have, because I'm very grateful. I live an incredible life already. I have beautiful things. I have a beautiful home. I have my health. I have some friends. I have my family. I have money, obviously, to be able to eat good food and do the things that I do. But for me, like, I think that it is normal and it's okay and it's absolutely acceptable to still continue to have big goals and big dreams. And entrepreneurship has allowed me to think in that broader perspective. Obviously, being involved with the business vehicle that I'm with, I've just seen many, hundreds of people throughout the years, hundreds and thousands of people throughout the years create like insane amounts of success. And it's amazing for them. And there's so many times that I want to step away again from this business, but I feel like for me, I'm somebody that's not a quitter. So it's like, well, I don't just want to like give up because, I haven't yet got the success, that I, had intended for at the beginning. Everything takes time, and learning skills definitely I'm still continuing to learn skills. But I think maybe is it, also everything that I'm learning and the skills, is it setting me up to be successful like in a different realm online. I really wanted to at the beginning of the year, but it's closed, sign up for life coaching with Brooke Castillo. I love her podcast as well. I really, really love to listen to that. I also realized that like my personal development and my mindset, I realize and I catch myself when I start to get negative, and when I see that I'm coming from this place of like a limited mindset and like limiting like beliefs about myself, that actually like you can change that. I mean, now that I'm like, rationally speaking, that like it's definitely possible to shift in your mindset and in the narrative that you say to yourself, and in your energy and your vibration. I talk about this a lot. And I do believe in manifestation, but I also believe in like, having to still show up in your masculinity and do the work that's required, for success in any area of your life. There needs to be that balance of your flow and your feminine, as well as like get shit done attitude, which is your masculine side. So I had a situation, let's segue to, I met a man, yes, he was in his 50s, lives in Europe, pretty much like investment banker. To make the story short, I at first was like intrigued, and then I saw a couple red flags and was like, ugh. But then I was like, okay, let me just be open. So then we actually spent last weekend together. He was staying in Canggu, came to ULUWATU, rented actually like a beautiful 2-bedroom at this boutique resort, 2-bedroom villa, room villa. Was able to get dressed up, go to some of the 2 best restaurants here in ULUWATU, had wine, cocktails. I ended up, finally, like, to be honest, I had not had sex in more than 6 months. Like, I'm not on apps. I don't sleep around. I'm definitely open to dating, but like, and I had one casual meetup with somebody who asked me out earlier and really wants to take me out on a date. But I know with this certain man, I'm friends with him. I've known him for a few years. I'm just not romantically interested in him. He does make me laugh, but I just am not interested in him in that way. And I don't want to like lead him on if I do go out for dinner with him, and then, I just know already that I'm not interested in him. Then there were 2 other guys that I went on, like, I hung out with one guy for less than an hour and a half. And then there was another kind of like casual meetup with like a coffee guy. Yeah, no, red flags, no. But I'm open. I'm trying to remain open that I can meet a man here in Bali. And again, I'm not on any apps. So I met this guy, and like I had said, I hadn't been with anybody. I dated a guy when I was in Hawaii, and there's been nobody since then. So I ended up, like, we had like a nice weekend, and I knew from the second night that we went out to dinner, like I did see red flags already from him, but I thought, look, I'm not taking this serious. I'm just gonna go out for dinner, enjoy my time, you know, go to some great restaurants and enjoy my time, like have some sex, you know, light, easy, fun, no commitment. This is not long term. Like, just try to have fun, you know, just like have a little bit of fun, because I never do that, right? So then he leaves, and then a day or two later, after he's back in Canggu, he's like, oh, you should come to Canggu, spend a couple nights with me, and then, you know, I'm gonna leave to go back to Europe. And, you know, we'd already said, like, this was just, you know, for now, like, there was like no string. And also, you know, so many flags that I was like, this is fucking absolutely not somebody. Like, there was behaviors and ways about him that I was tolerating at surface level, just because it was just what it was, like at the level that it was. There was no depth here. It was just, this is clearly, I can see where my fucking mistake was, where it's like, oh gosh, like still maybe like I know what I am worthy of, and it makes me frustrated now that I did put myself in this situation where it obviously did not end very well, and I had blocked him on Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, because like I already knew from the beginning, consciously putting myself into the situation, like this is just for now, like it is what it is. But then when I went to go see him in Canggu, like it was, I'm not even going to go into any full details, but things he said to me, how he acted, and then like the final kind of like situation before I obviously left and came back to the Bukit on Saturday. Like, I'm absolutely disgusted. He's made me now lean towards it makes me feel really angry that, first of all, that I thought that I had this figured out and I could handle it and just be like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be like for fun. But in the end, I realized I left my friend a voice note today on WhatsApp, and I was like crying, you know, I was like really emotional about it, because I feel like the way that he had spoken to me and judged me and treated me and undermined me, like I was like not obviously saying anything back, because I thought, oh, it's not worth it, because I'm not gonna bring up any conflict or say something, because it's like, we're not in anything here. I realized maybe I should have, because I feel like I've suppressed a lot of energy in the last, you know, in the 48 hours that I spent with him. And then I came back on the Saturday, and then I was like full on food poisoning. Like I felt like everything that I was holding on inside like was coming out of me. Like it was, so for me there was also kind of like this energetic like disruption because of like me in the end putting myself into that situation. It's just made me really fucking irritated that sometimes I think about like, oh, I really want to meet like a really like wealthy, successful man that's working on something, still, you know, working on projects like career, you know, smart, intelligent, like all these things. And I want to meet them, and I want to be able to live like a certain, you know, even like extra lifestyle more than I have now, and, you know, afford certain material things that I would love, and travel, and like, you know, all of this, as well as have like, oh, you know, like the beautiful relationship where you're so in love, and you know, people are honest with each other and not cheating on one another, and, you know, you feel like you're their number one. I am just like fucking done with like. And this year I realized I've been more lonely this year wanting that. And I realized I'm just gonna, for now, cannot put any energy towards thinking about that. And I would rather just put energy and intention into being aligned with what I need to do for my own personal brand and for my own business. Because, you know, I sometimes think, what's that Instagram reel like? You know, like, don't wish to like meet the man that's gonna like provide everything for you. Like, you be the man that's gonna make it, you know? Like, if you want to meet like a multi-millionaire man, you fucking become the one that becomes the multi-millionaire. And that's kind of where it's like, I need to use my fuel to like, if there's professional and financial success that I desire and that I also wish to meet somebody that's already there, like instead of that, like become that first myself. Like I always thought that, first of all, that's what, obviously I want to be doing that. But now with like wanting to attract a man that's already there, like fuck that. I'm so done with men. I'm so done with men. I'm so fucking done with men. Like the way, and these are also like, I've known, this was the second, I was kind of talking to a guy back in Sydney who also was like a successful businessman. And in the end, I've also fucking blocked him. Like, I don't know what it is about some men and men that also like have good jobs and make good money, that they're just fucking arrogant and selfish and egotistical. And like, I could just say all the negative things, you know? That's what I'm gonna say about that. It's left me, obviously, as you can see, like very, very angry, very, very disappointed in myself that my judge of character, I already knew from the beginning, but for some reason, like I need to like lift up again my self-worth. And I've said to myself now, like I will never be with a man again, like anything, like especially sexually and giving my time and energy and my body and my mind to some man if it's not fully aligned. If I don't feel like it is so aligned, like I can't. And even if it's like, I might feel, I have to remind myself if I'm feeling like a little bit like lonely and I want to be open and see, like if it's not like intuitively like this is like a really good person for me, like I'm gonna have to just fucking wait however long it is. Like I'm gonna have to wait until I'm fucking 70 or 80 years old and maybe I will never meet somebody. But that's, you know, like I already catch myself, like I can't be thinking like that. Like to be positive, I'm sure that yes, there is somebody I will meet in the future at the most aligned time that is meant for me. But in the meantime, like I can't put myself, like I'm just gonna have to like not have sex forever and not go on dates. And you know, if I, you know, dream about like, oh, I'm gonna meet this man and he's gonna sweep me off his feet and give me a luxury lifestyle and travel the world in luxury and all these beautiful, you know, I think about like jewelry that I want, and one day I would, you know, maybe really love a nice watch and things like this, like more beautiful jewelry. Like I love jewelry, right? You know what? Like, fuck it. Like if I want that, I'm gonna be the one that makes that. You know, and that's why I wanted to like sit down, and whether or not like this actually becomes a video somewhere or something. It's so funny. Like, can you see over there in the bottom, there's like an ironing board on the ground, because I don't have a doorstop, because if I don't have that, then the door like closes. So we have an ironing board on the ground. Who the fuck uses ironing boards? I don't iron any of my clothes. Actually, at my other house, I had that like steamer. I haven't used that either. But I guess I really wanted to sit down because I think it's, you know, I talk about this, it's, you know, and before when I was like crying, I also had an argument with my mother. I was like crying and I thought like, it's okay some days that you feel like shit, you have a bad day and you want to feel sorry for yourself and you want to like be negative and complain and all the things. It's okay, like feel that. And that's where I was today. Like I need to feel how I'm feeling when it comes to things for my business, when it comes to things for, you know, being single, when it comes to my life that I have here in Bali and just, you know, where I'm at, you know, as a 45-year-old woman, single, living in Bali. I'm a free surfer, content creator, business owner, you know, cat lover, to just like sit in where you're at and to feel that, and then to use the discomfort and being like not happy entirely with where I'm at. Like I'm very grateful for many things in my life, but it's like, okay, I'm like 45, like I'm not old. Like my father turned 88 this year. That's old, right? Oh, I'm so good, I've got 1%. So I'm gonna probably like end this, but I really wanted to just get it down on camera and just record my raw, honest feelings of where I'm at. And maybe tomorrow I can make a video about my intentions, moving forward. And maybe for you, I'm gonna leave you with this, like, you know, and maybe it's me projecting out that I'm actually speaking to myself, but I'm also obviously speaking to you if this does make it online and you're watching, that like, I do believe that you can change your life and you can elevate different realms of your life and create and live an extraordinary life. But it definitely takes commitment, and it definitely takes faith and courage and believing in yourself. I just wish for you that if you're unhappy, that you have the power to change. Okay, my battery is going now, so I'm going to stop. Thank you so much. See you next time.